Danny, if you could mute, we're getting a lot of feedback. Thank you. I'll call to order this February 16th, 2021 meeting of the Center County Planning Commission. Hopefully all of us have acknowledged our Pledge of Allegiance. I'm not going to ask you to stand and recite at this time. At this point, we would open it for citizen comment. Is there anybody on the call that wishes to speak to something that is not on this evening's agenda? Hearing nor seeing none. The next item I would like to do is welcome our newest member, Debbie Simonchek. Debbie, please correct me if I mispronounced.
It's closed. Simonsek.
Simonsek. Okay.
Yeah. Perfect.
We will mess that up many times, I'm sure. I hope you will forgive us.
That's fine.
Debbie comes to us from Howard. Is that correct, Debbie?
Yes.
And we'll be representing the Bald Eagle Valley. We're very pleased to get representation from that segment of the county.
Thank you.
The other point of order I would mention is that Stacy was able to talk with Freddie Persick. Freddie, unfortunately, will not be continuing on with the commission. So we do have another vacancy on the commission at this time, and I believe that's an at-large position. Is that correct, Ray or Chris?
I am not sure on that, Rich. We'll have to check into that.
Okay. Obviously, Freddie I'm not honestly sure of her current status. I believe she's in Pittsburgh, but was a long-time College Township resident. So we wish her well. Ray or Chris, do you know if there's anything that the county does to acknowledge, long-term service like that to its ABCs?
I think I've seen in the past where there's a certificate issued by the commissioners. Is that correct, Chris?
Yeah, that is correct. I think we even have some certificates at the office that we can get signed. I know Mary and Stacy, I think, worked on some previously. It's been such a long time we've had a long-standing member like that resign, so we'll have to look into that. That's definitely something that should be done for Freddie.
Yes, absolutely. And hopefully we could get her on a call in the future to share that in person, but definitely would like to acknowledge her long service to the county. Moving on, next item is the approval of minutes from our January 19th, 2021 meeting.
So moved, sir.
We have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Daniker. Any corrections, discussion required on those minutes? Seeing nor hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. Hearing none, motion carries. Next item, Planning Commission member updates. We did a little bit of that in welcoming our new member. Is there anything else that any of the members have for the good of the cause? Again, seeing nor hearing none. Moving on to new business. Subdivision land development. And the first item is a waiver request from Logan Green Subdivision in Benner Township.
Okay, thank you and good evening. Okay, so let me share my screen. Just give me a minute while I pull the information up. Okay, so thank you very much. An aerial photo of Logan Green Subdivision should be on your monitors as we speak. And the first item that we want to talk about is the Logan Green subdivision waiver request. The Logan Green development is located primarily in Spring Township, but also a small segment in Benner Township. It's bounded by Valentine Hill Road along the eastern side of the right-of-way of Valentine Hill Road, and it's located west of the Amberley residential subdivision, west of Plannig Industrial Park, and south of the Burnham Farm Estates subdivision. The engineering firm who prepared the plan is Matt Harlow from the ELA Group, and he joins us tonight's meeting. The development is to occur on a 106.1 acre tract of land that's owned by Fishing Creek Valley Associates LP, being tax parcel number 13-3-96. Of the 106.18 acres comprising the tract, 5.06 acres are located in Benner Township. Now, one of the sheets of the plan, this is a rendering of one of the preliminary plan sheets, which is showing 5 phases. It's showing phase 1A, 1B, 2, 3, and 4. Access to this site is going to be at a number of points. One of the access points is the developer is acquiring a tract of land within the Plannig Industrial Park, and what he's going to do is they're going to create a public street that's going to connect to Rolling Ridge Drive, which makes its way down to the Benner Pike at the traffic signal at Sheets. Another access point is what's going to be called Jonathan Lane, and that's going to be an extension of the Jonathan Lane within the Burnham Farm Estates, and that works its way around also to the Benner Pike at the existing traffic signal at Remodeler's Workshop. And then there's going to be 2 additional access points along Valentine Hill Road, with one in Spring Township and then one in Benner Township. And this is the area that we're going to concern ourselves with tonight because it's located in Benner Township. Just some additional information regarding this proposal is the developer has secured letters of intent to provide service from the water company as well as the sewer company for all of the lots within the development. Now, just to move our way to the next, the enlargement of this area, this particular plan sheet is showing 13 developable lots wholly located in Benner Township, with a small segment of a street system that's going to be built to public standard and offered for dedication to the municipality. Now, in each of your information packets that were sent last week, there was a letter that was written by Matt Harlow of the ELA Group on behalf of the developer, and I want to read just parts of the letter because it's really pertinent to this particular topic for the agenda. And this is from Matt. He says, "Dear Commission members, on behalf of the Logan Green developer, Fishing Creek Valley Associates LP, the ELA Group respectfully requests your consideration of waiving the Center County Planning Commission's approval jurisdiction and Center County Subdivision and Land Development Ordinance for the Logan Green project located in Spring and Benner Townships in favor of Spring Township of reviewing and approving the entire project. This request is being made in reference and pursuant to Section 320 of the Center County Subdivision and Land Development Ordinance and Section 512.1 of the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code." Now, a little bit of history is this proposal needed to be rezoned in Spring Township. That was done, and Spring Township successfully rezoned that from agriculture to R3 in September of 2019. The portion in Benner Township was already zoned R2 multifamily residential, so that did not need to be adjusted for zoning. Because of the small portion in Benner Township, The developer and their agent went to the Benner Township Board of Supervisors on February the 3rd of 2020 and asked if Benner Township would be willing to waive their approval responsibilities and allow Spring Township to assume those duties. And Benner Township, in fact, did waive all of their ordinances except for zoning to allow for Spring Township to assume that. Now, also in your packets of information, it was the same letter that Matt had written. He points out a number of items that he is using to support the consideration of the waiver request. And I just want to read them to you because they're important. Is Center County and Spring Township, as well as Benner Township, they both utilize the same appointed engineer, and that's Don Franson. There's 13 of the planned 321 lots are within Benner Township. There's less than 400 linear feet of new street in Benner Township out of the approximate total of 14,000 linear feet of the whole project. Spring Township has indicated they would maintain the street sections within Benner Township. The street design criteria is similar within each of the townships. Most of the stormwater runoff will be managed within Spring Township, and that has been confirmed that all the stormwater is going to be handled within Spring Township. Most of the street intersections studied in the traffic impact area are in Spring Township or under the jurisdiction of PennDOT. The PADEP required sewage facilities planning will be approved by both townships, and a single reviewing and approving entity will eliminate any redundancy in reviews, applications, and meetings and streamline the process. So in summary, the developer and their agent believe this request to be appropriate given the municipal support from both Benner and Spring Townships and justification outlined above, and therefore respectfully request your consideration of granting this request. Now, where the authority for waiver requests, just want to highlight again, can be found in section 320 of the county's ordinance, as well as section 512.1 of the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code. And they read in part, allows for the modification of one or more provisions if the literal enforcement will result in unreasonable hardship, provided that such modifications will not be contrary to the public interest. And as we continue, of the 321 proposed residential units in the Logan Green subdivision, only 13 buildable lots are located in Benner Township. The number of lots located in Benner Township make up only 4% of the overall lots with the number of acres in Benner Township being 5.06, which also makes up 4.7% of the total development area. In light of these facts, in an attempt to facilitate the development of Logan Green and provide consistency by having only one municipality be the designated reviewing and approving authority, staff recommends the waiving of the county's subdivision and land development ordinance and the subsequent review and approval process for that segment located in Benner Township to be under the jurisdiction of Spring Township, contingent upon the following. And those include and are approval from the Benner Township zoning officer indicating that part of the proposal located in Benner Township meets or exceeds the Benner Township zoning ordinance, written evidence from Benner Township verifying they waive the following ordinances, which are the Street Standards Ordinance, which is Ordinance number 60, the Traffic Study Ordinance, which is Ordinance number 86, and the Stormwater Ordinance, which is Ordinance number 84. We also want to have some correspondence from the Bellefonte Fire Company indicating they've had an opportunity to review the plan just to confirm to see if they have any recommended or suggestions for this development being of such a large size. Prior to the approval of the final plans for Phase 1B and 2, provide a copy of an approved Department of Environmental Protection application mailer for those lots located in Benner Township and corresponding written evidence of DEP approval. And as a side note on this one, we do have a completed copy of the application mailer for Phase 1B that has been signed by both Benner and Spring Townships, and that will likely be sent to DEP if it hasn't already been sent to DEP for their approval. And then the last item is a copy of an approved preliminary subdivision plan for the Logan Green subdivision, which include addressing the graphical comments per the Center County Major Subdivision and Land Development Subcommittee, including a plan note detailing this waiver, as well as noting the specific waivers granted by Benner Township.
Anything else, Chris?
That is it there.
Okay, who attended the subcommittee meeting?
The subcommittee was attended by John Fronick, Bob Daniker, and Dennis Haymeister. There were two meetings of the subcommittee. One met back in September, which included John, Denny, and Michelle, and then the more recent one, which occurred January 26th, 28th, I believe, included John, Bob, and Denny.
Excellent. Bob, anything to share from the subcommittee?
Not really. Well, a motion that the waiver request be granted with the stipulations that Chris has stated.
Great. John, anything you might share?
I'll just reiterate what Bob said. I believe that we had consensus that we were in favor of the waiver. They have to meet the zoning requirements for Benner, and they have to meet all of the other conditions relative to stormwater and the traffic study and everything to that nature. So my understanding is this is a streamlining process and not a true waiver of any big regulation. It's just streamlining the process. My only question to Chris would be, this is the preliminary, correct?
This is the preliminary plan. Actually, it's going to be the preliminary plan, and the whole project is going to be assumed by Benner Township, not just the preliminary plan, but it also Phase 1B. And Phase 2, although it looks like there's about 2 or 3 lot lines in Benner Township, there isn't any buildable or earth-moving activities in that segment for Phase 2.
So what would this mean for final plans?
What it would mean is they would simply go to, when they submit final plan for Phase 1B and Phase 2, they would submit the plans to Spring Township, and they would not need to submit to the county planning office or Benner Township for approvals. Now, also understand that even though if the commission were to waive what was being mentioned today, the planning office does still have the ability to provide comments on the plan when it gets submitted to Spring Township.
So yeah, I still stand behind at least I'm in favor of I'm recommending that we waive the review because of everything is still being met. It streamlines the process in my opinion. So no harm here.
Okay. Denny, anything to add to that?
I was thinking, Chris, we had discussed seeking input from the county solicitor.
We did.
What feedback did we get on that waiver?
Ray and I met with Betsy and Margaret a couple times, and Betsy was supportive of the waiver as we had written this, and as was presented to the Planning Commission tonight.
Okay. That was really a CYA kind of question to make sure that we weren't setting some precedent somewhere along the line.
No, that's good. We appreciate that, and we made sure we touched with Betsy. In fact, it was last Friday, the 12th.
Okay. Okay, Rich. Thanks, Rich.
Thank you. Any other members of the commission have questions for staff or the developer's agent? Seeing or hearing none, if everyone is comfortable and agrees with the recommendation from staff and our subcommittee, I'll accept a motion to approve the waiver request subject to the conditions outlined by staff just here shortly ago.
So moved.
Second, sir.
I have a motion and I have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing or seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. Hearing none, motion carries. Moving on then, do we still have review elements for the subdivision, Chris?
We don't necessarily have to reviews, but we still have to acknowledge the plan. And as part of that same February 3rd letter that I read from Matt regarding the waiver request, they have also indicated that finally, should the requested waiver be granted by the Center County Planning Commission, the developer will formally withdraw the preliminary subdivision plan application with the Center County Planning and Community Development Office. So we have to recognize that the developer is formally now withdrawing the preliminary plan that was submitted to the county planning office, since the waiver request will now make that moot.
Okay, but we do not need to take any formal action, just to acknowledge that it occurred.
My computer screen didn't freeze. I'm just thinking that how we handled it in the past. I thought, and I'm just going to talk out loud here. I thought that the commission still did the commission make a waiver, or excuse me, did they make a motion to accept that, or was it just a simple acknowledgement? I think a simple acknowledgement probably would suffice. I don't think there's any formal action needed. What does the group think on that one? I don't want to speak. I want to make sure I know that.
That's my take, that it's an action at the staff level,
Okay.
But we will acknowledge it. But I defer to Ray as the director.
Yeah, I think as far as acknowledging it, that should be sufficient with the action that was taken with the subdivision being waived. I think that should be, again, sufficient for the action.
When I send the letter out acknowledging the waiver request and the conditions that were presented, in that same letter, I'm also going to indicate that the developer has formally withdrawn the plan that was submitted, so that will also acknowledge the formal withdrawal too.
Great. Yeah, I think that covers both bases.
Yep.
Sorry, Denny, I didn't interrupt you. I think you tried to say something.
I said, fine. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Okay, good.
Good. Okay, very good. Mr. Harlow, thank you for joining us. I hope you're satisfied with the outcome.
Thank you, and it was a pleasure talking with all of you.
Very good, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Moving on in the agenda,
Thanks,
we
Devin.
have
Thanks,
no land developments this cycle. We move on to time extensions. We have two. They are the Center Hall Fire Company. This is their third request, and Powder Woodward, PA. This is their 13th request.
Just one, two items on these time extensions is the Center Hall Fire Company. They're under construction pretty good, so this may be their last time extension request, because these are for 90-day increments. So they're getting pretty close. And then as part of the Powder Woodward, because of COVID, they are now rethinking their plans, and so this may come back to, they may want to withdraw this one too. I'm not saying they're going to, but they're thinking of their plans now because of the COVID situation and how they're going to address that moving forward. With obviously camps have hundreds, if not thousands, of kids there and people, so that's something they're thinking about.
Sure. Any questions, concerns from the commission on those extensions?
Nope.
If not, I'll accept a motion to approve.
So
I'll make a
moved.
motion.
Mr. Danik, motion by Mr. Daniker, second by
Sure, I'll second
I
that.
think Chris seconded, yeah.
Mr. Coons.
Yeah.
Call the question. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. Hearing nor seeing none, motion carries. Chris, do we have subject material for the subcommittee meeting next week?
Yes, we do. If you had a chance to look at the commissioners meeting today or read the paper or see statecollege.com, the rumor is true. There is the Benner Pike Shopping Center is going in across from the Center County Prison and just south of the Bellefonte Lanes. We received that preliminary plan, and that will be brought before the commission at their March's meeting. So I will be sending an email out to the commission asking to see if folks want to participate in the subcommittee meeting scheduled for February 25th.
Debbie, just to give you a little background on that, what we try to do is have a subset of the commission review plans as they come in and then try to identify improvements, what needs fixed under the auspice of the staff guiding us through that. Obviously in COVID, those have been via Zoom, but
Right.
we try to get the individual members to participate in those and assist the greater committee. If you think back to the Logan Green that we just talked about, we heard from Mr. Daniker, Mr. Fronick, and Mr. Hameister on that plan that they reviewed through the subcommittee.
Okay.
Moving on, Center County MPO update.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to share my screen real quick. While we don't necessarily have a lot to report, we do have some things going on in the background that are keeping us busy. I think you should be seeing the handout. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right. Thanks. So right now, staff is proposing a safety subcommittee, asking technical committee members to be participants. Not all of them, but a handful. We do need to have coordinating committee approval of that subcommittee. And due to performance measures that are established by the feds, we have to improve safety, which is kind of a no-brainer, but they have established goals and targets for us. And so we are going to use this safety subcommittee to try to see how we can meet those performance measures. And that could also include options for safety education, as well as introduce the PennDOT crash screening tool. Our biggest problem is in 19, we had one fatality. And so that has changed our targets significantly because it's really hard to have less than one in terms of meeting the performance measures. So we're going to do our best, but we have a bit of work ahead of us. And I know there's snow on the ground, but at some point there won't be. So Center Region is offering virtual events for bicycling. This one happens to be a commuting 101, in case that's something folks would like to do. They are open to everyone. You can just go to the registration listed in the middle kind of the screen there and sign up. On the county, we have this highway safety network that we provide the grant agreement for, and they cover Center County and provide educational events as well as recognitions to promote safety. And I thought this was an interesting one because it's recognizing 2 Spring Township police officers for their service and contribution to the highway safety network, which I thought was very nice of them to do. Josh Woods is our local representative, so if your community is interested in holding a safety-related educational event, you can check out their Facebook page, and you can also contact Josh Woods that way to schedule something. And they do it live, in person or virtual, so they do have some options. And then finally, we also have the PennDOT Local Technical Assistance Program, which is an educational kind of program that not only someone like myself, like a planner, could use, but also a municipal roadmaster to gain information on things that they are working on within their municipality. And if you're curious, I would encourage you to take a look at the courses. They are constantly having courses, actually quite surprising. So anything from pavement to bicycle safety is also part of their programming. That's all I have.
Great. Questions for Ann? We're letting Ann off easy again, I see. She'll take it. Moving on. Next item is Director's Update.
I do not have a report this month. I do have a few items that will be presented next month for the March meeting.
The first thing I got to know is, how did you say all that without moving your lips?
Frozen screens are great, right?
Okay, so nothing for this month. Look forward to something next month.
Yes.
Okay. Any questions for the director on anything that may have come up since the last meeting?
Well, he's a planner. That's why he can do that.
Ah.
That's right, Danny. You're right.
Okay, we'll go with that. Anything else for the good of the cause?
I just have a question about the ethics forms. Has anybody on the commission
Debbie,
received...
hold on one sec. Okay, go ahead, Debbie.
Nope, this is Stacy.
Oh, I'm sorry, Stacy.
Has anybody on the Planning Commission received the ethic forms?
I have not. What I thought was the ethics form was actually an appointment, another appointment to a county seat. But
All right, we'll have to get in touch with the commissioner's office and see where they are, who has them, and try to get those out then.
am I correct that you can also go on, there's a location to go online that can be done?
I'm not sure.
We have till May to complete that, so.
Yes. Anything else for the good of the cause?
I see that Chris has some help, the four-legged friend on his desk there, so.
Yeah, she's zonked out now. She did too much work.
Motion to adjourn, Rich.
Okay, I have a motion. I will second unless there's anything else. Stay safe and we'll see you next month.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
All right.